the shit is functional. He do this every day until he comfortable. He going places, someone tell me where the fuck he come from though. Staring at the sky all day.
Hi, welcome to Mayowa's world. I want to start off by thanking everyone who watched my last video. You guys, I was in such a really sad state, and reading all the comments was so healing and so kind, and I was like, I think I have the best YouTube community, because everyone was like able to relate, and I wasn't sure if I was like oversharing or, I don't know, being a Debbie Downer and talking about my feelings and being sad. And I want to continue sharing content like that, because obviously those things don't just like disappear in a second. It's something that you have to constantly work through. So I'm trying every week to keep moving. I don't want to say keep getting better, because I think the concept of better and worse is, I don't know, sometimes destructive, but I want to keep working through my feelings, which may not always be the solution being me happier, right? Because like sometimes you have to work through really hard things and it means having more pain, but hopefully in the end, there will be a rainbow. I want to do a pretty candid video talking about regrets that I felt within having Freeform Locs, because someone asked me the other day if I regretted having Freeform Locs, and at some point I did. At this current point I don't, but I'm going to talk about why I did. So I talk a lot about like the process of having Freeform Locs, and I feel like where I am right now with my Freeform Loc journey, I have a lot of privilege because my hair is like longer, so I think people try me less. But in the beginning, when you're so unsure of like what your hair is even doing, that's when I feel like it's the hardest to keep having Freeform Locs, because like you may not be getting that much encouragement and you don't really see short nappy hair being promoted at all. So when I first started having Freeform Locs, I think the thing I was the most insecure about was like if I should do it manicured or if I should continue to do freeform, or if I should do like something in between. And I was like really worried I was gonna make the wrong decision, because I was like, oh, you know, maybe you'd look so much more professional if you have manicured locks, or like maybe that would make you look more neat, or like maybe if you did some kind of semi-freeform, it would look better on you. But I think a lot of that comes down to like this colonial belief that like nappy hair is always unprofessional, which is really problematic. Kind of going on a tangent about that, but something I've noticed that's interesting is like anytime we talk about like, you know, when you see like little girls and they have braids and barrettes and like hair and like natural little cute hairstyles, I feel like that's the only time we're allowing people to embrace their natural hair with like color and like fun. And then when you get older, you're supposed to like, I don't know, stop wearing barrettes and stop wearing beads and stop like doing these like really cute little styles, and it's like considered to be really adolescent. And I think this is like really anti-black, because it's assuming that like only those styles can be like embraced by kids, and in actuality it shouldn't only be embraced by kids, it should be embraced by everyone, because that hairstyle is fucking lit, and the little shaky with them beads going everywhere is also fucking lit. So like I want to see people bringing that back, especially for like hot girl summer, you know what I'm saying? Like I want to see more styles, but I think it also goes to this whole theory that like wearing your natural hair is unprofessional, it's adolescent, it's things that you do in your past, it's not something that you do in your future, right? Like, and I think that I internalized that a lot, and I felt like it would inhibit me. But the truth is that I think every hairstyle is considered, on every natural hairstyle, let me not even say that. I think every hairstyle that Black people do has criticism. So like whatever is on your head, there's probably some article, write-up, law that is telling you that like it's not gonna help you get a job. Like if you have a weave, people have problems with that. If you have your natural hair, people have problems with that. If you have nappy hair, people, you know. So I think all hairstyles that we do is gonna get condemned, because I think Black hair is condemned. But how you work within it and how you find your own style within it is dependent on the individual. So in the beginning, I was like not that confident. And I was like, okay, I'm already like an eccentric person, so maybe I should have like Freeform Locs to make me more balanced. And I think the truth is that like my hair will always be nappy. Like no matter if you're squinting your eyes, like looking at me, like I just have nappy ass hair. And so if I had it manicured or not, I think if I'm worried about people perceiving me as being unprofessional, regardless of what I do or what I wear or who I am, you will always perceive me as unprofessional. Because if you're fundamentally judging my ability to work on like what my hair looks like or my hair type looks like, then like, honey, I don't want to work for you. So in the beginning, that was my biggest kind of pushback, and I had family members that were maybe like encouraging me to have more manicured locks, and so I was really worried. I was really regretting like at some point just letting my hair be. And then also like the way my like Freeform locks, let me take it down, like the way my Freeform locks are like set up is like, it would be really hard to like go back. Oh man, I styled my hair for this video and then I just took it down. Anyway, I was like, I don't know how somebody can like make this manicured. So I was like really insecure about that. Like, oh no, like this is kind of irreversible. And like that whole concept, I always hear people say like, oh, I want to do dreadlocks, but like it's permanent. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like nothing's permanent. You can always like shave your head. I don't know why shaving your head is like never an option given. You can shave your head, you can cut it short, you can have a fro, you know what I mean? Like there's so many things you can still do with once you've locked your hair. So I think I had that regret as well of like, oh no, I won't be able to like go back in time and like have an afro. And like ultimately, yes, you can. Like you can do whatever you want. Like there's nothing that's permanent. Also, I don't hear like white people who have like straight hair being like, oh no, like my hair is permanently gonna be straight forever. It's like such a eternal hairstyle, you know? Like I also think if your hair grows like that, your hair grows like that, you know? So yeah, what else did I regret in Freeform locks? Regrets. You know what? In the very beginning, I was worried I was either washing my hair too much or too little, because there's very little information from YouTubers about how often they wash Freeform locks. And to be honest, I think that's like really good, because I think you are forced to create what system works for you. At this current moment, I don't use shampoo or conditioner, and I wash my hair like 4 days a week with water. And that works really well for me. But like I have another friend, he has Freeform locks and his scalp gets like super like dry and dandruffy, and I'm like, well, that's your scalp. Like find your rhythm. And like my rhythm's always changing. Also, it depends on climate, on where I am, how I'm feeling. Like there's so many things that determine how my hair is gonna be. So I just, you know, like experiment. And I think if I had seen a lot of YouTubers who had Freeform locks, or not even Freeform locks, but locks that I thought were cute, I feel like it would have swayed my decision. And I feel like when I was doing my hair, I really had no clue what I was doing. I was just noticing that my hair was always locking. So I just did what felt comfortable for me, which is ultimately what my channel is to promote, which is doing what feels comfortable for you and what's comfortable for you, and not always having to modify yourself and have this constant fear that you're never enough. I remember when I would have weaves and stuff, I would be so worried that like my hair would be like never straight enough, or it doesn't look like the other girls who have weaves. It's like always this system of like never feeling satisfied. Even when I would have braids and stuff, I was like, oh, my new growth, you know, there was always this like feeling that it's never enough. And with my Freeform locks, like I'm just like, ugh, it's a lot. It's everything I wanted. Like I think way less about my hair and way less about if it looks neat. The concept of neat has like dissipated, because I also think like neat is judged through like a really Eurocentric lens, that like it has to be put into boxes and it has to be put into like neat parts, and like a lot of things in life are not neat parts. I don't know why that concept would be needed for everyone, from every culture, from every background. All of our backgrounds are very different. What neat is to me would be very different than what neat is to you. People have different arenas that they're more neat in, they're more organized in, and I think for my hair, that's not something that I care about. It's important. And also another regret I had was like in the very beginning, I was so concerned with my hair being dirty. Also a really fucked up term, because you always hear like, oh yeah, dreadlocks are dirty, right? Like there's always this kind of thing in the back of your head that like, oh no, what if something gets into like the back of my locks and like I won't be able to see it. And then I'm like, or like, what if my locks look dusty? Like also I have very light hair, especially like, I don't know if you see it from the side, it's just like, it's very light. And someone's like, oh, it's kind of like dusty colored, or it looks dusty. And I'm like, if it's my natural hair color, then like, there's nothing. It's just, it is what it is. And like, if something gets in my hair, it is what it is. Like, it's not the end of the world. And with me washing my hair so regularly, like it will sort itself out. If not, yay, you know, like, so I regretted being so concerned with having super neat hair. Like this was just like, and super clean hair. And this is just like a really, you know, I think I just overthought everything. And the suggestion I would have for you with doing your Freeform locks is just like, focus on like feeling good as a person, and like focus on being healthy, focus on having great relationships with your friends, focus on like weeding out people who like support you and who don't, and like then everything will flourish, like your hair, your self-confidence, your worth, you know. And I really believe that Freeform Locs just let me focus on the things that matter more, which is like everything but my hair. And I say in a lot of my other videos, like my hair is very spiritual to me. So obviously, like, I'm not saying hair is nothing in some ways, but in terms of like how I value my worth or my beauty, like my hair, it like, I am great regardless, you know. And I think that's the kind of affirmations you have to always tell yourself. I mean, so now I clearly don't regret anything in my hair. I'm really happy with where I am. I'm really happy with how it looks. I feel like it really fits me. And also, like, everyone's freeform hair looks completely different. Like, there's another YouTuber I used to follow, she had freeform hair, and I was like praying my hair would look like hers, and it doesn't look anything like hers. So the way you move, the way your thing will come together is like dependent on you as an individual. So like, don't feel discouraged if your process isn't moving at the same distance as someone else's process. Just keep going and keeping your own pace, and just keep being you, you know? Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Choose.
Change the perception of black people, their own skin. Try to change and protect the infrastructure of these own